is the Abdullah Mason topic. We got to see him fight. He got put down 2 times, but then in the same time, he was able to get his opponent out of there. I wanted to get your reaction on that fight. A lot of people wanted to hear your thoughts.
Um, Again, I think that most fighters, if not all, become infatuated with what they do best and what they getting praised for. And Mason has a lot of knockouts. I think maybe 15, like 14 knockouts in 16 fights. So everybody's talking about how hard he punches and stuff. And then sometimes you get a little bit infatuated with that and you become a little bit predictable and you force it a little bit. And that's all I saw. I just saw like, just youth, maybe I want to say immature, but just young and fiery and, going for the knockout, you know, a little bit early before the guy was a little softened up. And he ran into some big shots and he got dropped, but he got the right temperament. He didn't become gun shy. He stepped right back to the dude, and in the middle of the dude knocking him down twice, he was hurting the guy, and he wound up getting him out of there. So, one thing I look for when a young fighter get knocked down is, do he become gun shy? How long does it take him to recover? I look at those things because those things are important. We got some guys with some great fighters with real good chins who go down every once in a while. If you guys remember, Pernell Whitaker would take a flash knockdown every once in a while. Oscar De La Hoya,
Early in his
who is
career.
known to have a great chin, was actually knocked down in back-to-back fights. And we all know Puerto Rico's own Felix Trinidad. He only been stopped one time through all of those weight divisions, but he would get dropped every once in a blue moon. So I I'm not one of them people that like write a guy off or a guy's exposed. Like people just like haters by nature, where if a guy get a lot of fanfare and a lot of people praising them, like the first time that they have a bad day, it's like I told you so. You know what I mean? My mom got a brother like that, bro. He like the biggest loser I ever met in my life. I don't even talk to him because every sporting event, every great athlete, he's looking to expose him. For 15 years, he used to be like, Roy Jones gonna get clipped. Roy Jones gonna do this. So he was wrong 49 times. And then the Tara fight is, I told you so, I told you so. Well, you can't lose if you keep saying eventually something's gonna happen, because something do happen to guys most of the time over the course of time. You know what I'm saying? So I think Abdullah Mason is I still think he's good. We just gotta just see. We gotta see if it's something that keeps happening over and over again, or it was just that day where he was a little bit impatient and ran into some shots. But there's no need for an alarm. He didn't turn around and turn into a cur. You know what I mean? And didn't want to fight no more. He stepped right back to the dude and and um and took him out. There's certain guys that I look at, and I'm not calling no names, but guys get hit and they get funny acting. They start running and holding for the rest of the fight, and they get weird acting, and you could just tell that they don't have the ability to consume punishment, and they don't have a heart to consume punishment because they fight in survival mode. But Mason didn't do that, so you know, I think he's okay. You know what I mean? Let's just see how things go moving forward.
I like it. I like it. Um, Moving forward with Mason though, what do you feel like, for something like that not to happen again? What do you feel is you know the gem that, for young fighters that want to fight like Mason, and maybe if Mason's listening to it.
I don't really see it's it's a fine line, man, because I don't want to get nobody like seem like I'm criticizing his coaches or whatever. I think his dad's his coach, right?
Yeah.
He got him this far, so obviously they doing something right. But you you gotta take your time. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You gotta take your time in boxing. You know what I mean? Sometimes, we all get a little bit arrogant and just think we could just go in there and blow guys out. Even when you got a trainer, have a fighter that's a good puncher, and you just think you're supposed to blow guys out. Everybody's not gonna lay down for you. Some guys come to actually win, and just because you're better than the guy, that doesn't mean he can't beat you on that day. So, you just gotta just take your time a little bit. Use your jab a little bit, box a little bit. It's cool to get the knockouts because we in the entertainment business also, and you sell more tickets when you punish guys, but you don't want to do it at the risk of losing brain cells, because it's not just about winning fights, it's about longevity. You know what I mean? Like, you can start damaging yourself if you get hit with too many big shots and have too many rough fights coming up. Scar tissue, you start damaging yourself. So it's a lot of things to look at. That's why when you call me on here about Shakur, I'm not overly critical of him. You know what I mean? Because he chooses not to take punishment. So I'm not overly critical of Shakur. You know what I mean? Like, I respect the. I always say, if he's losing the fight and he fights like that, then it's time to criticize him. If you want to move away from a guy and throw a minimum amount of punches, and you know you're losing the fight and you still fight like that, then that's the time to criticize him. But I just don't know if you could be overly critical of a fighter that want to keep his brain cells but still want to win the fight. So Mason just got to just take his time. He's still a young kid, man, and they go through growing pains. He don't even His style is not even fully defined yet. He don't even know how he's gonna fight at the top level. Sometimes we see guys that's fight a certain way coming up, and then they change their style. Remember, Acelino Freitas, where he was a puncher coming up, and then when he got to the top level, he started moving a lot more. You know what I mean? Because them punches hurt. So we just got to see. You know what I mean? But I think he's still in a good place. You just got to just time reveals all.
Right, right. Shout out to Jay in the building. What's going on, Jay?
What's up, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I got Coach Breadman. You already know it's Coach Bread.
Big dog, Breadman. That's what's up.
Who's that?
So, King Junior's father. I got you. Hold on. I'll make it easy for you.
Oh, okay. He do pads real good. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yep.
So, getting into Keyshawn Davis and like him calling out Javante Tank Davis. I know that you believe that this fight is far fetched, but in the same time, stylistically, when you look at those two guys, do you feel like that's a fight that you want to see?
Sure. When I say those, like, I don't think the fights are gonna happen right away. It's not that I don't want to see them. I want to see these guys fight, bro. I was born in the '70s, so like Leonard and Hearns, they was champions for less than 2 years before they fought each other in the biggest fight of all time. So I'm not from an era where I watched fights where fights had to marinate overly long.
Mm,
Oscar and Tito was 26 years old when they fought. People get mad when I say that, but that's how old they were. They were both was 26 when they fought. You know what I mean? Tito had what? One fight at 160, and then he fought Bernard, right? Was he playing around?
no.
What was his first fight at 54? David Reed, right?
Yeah,
Him
David
and
Reed.
Fernando Vargas shared the card together, and then in December of 2000, they fought a super fight. So I'm from an era where guys fought differently. So I want to see the fights, and I think Keyshawn Davis is the good. But I just know a lot about the business of boxing, and the business of boxing is wait and see if the guy is vulnerable, see how much money we could get out of the fight, and if my guy got a chance of losing, I'm not going to take the fight. That's just what it is now. But I would love to see the fight, and I think it's a great fight.